So in one of my previous videos, we talked a little bit about why we don't like 1.19. There's no fireflies, there's no birch forest, but like, what does 1.19 actually have? Why are people so quick to judge this update when we do actually have some features? Well, in this video, I'll talk a little bit about why I think people are hating on the update, and we'll talk a little bit about, you know, what there actually is to be happy about. So that being said, let's get into it. So like we've seen previously, Minecraft didn't necessarily deliver on all the promises that they made for 1.19. And I say promises loosely because they weren't necessarily actual full gameplay promises as much as just like featured implementation ideas. And yet, plans change, things happen, it's happened, it's just how it goes. There's a warden spawning. And sure, plans change, like things change, feature ideas change, there's a lot of things that change in development. But are those two things enough to make this update actually bad, or is there an actual lack of features for this update? Let's go through a bunch of the things that have been added. I mean, the easy one that we can see right now is the Deep Dark with the Warden and a bunch of other features included in these chests and such. We've got disc fragments, we've got echo shards, we've got that compass that lets you find your death spot. Plus we have all these skulk blocks that store experience and are actually pretty cool. Of course, there's also the Warden, who is super brutal and hard to take down, but he's not meant to be taken down, and I love that about him. On the above ground side of things, we got the mangrove trees, we've got mud with a bunch of building blocks surrounding that, we've got these mangrove propagules, we've got frogs, and with these frogs we've got tadpoles, we've got some cool features with the frog lights, we've got a good amount of stuff there. This biome may be missing a couple features to make it fully comprehensive, but I think it's still pretty great. And while some people don't like the mud design, I think it's a good building block. Plus, I think the fact that you can turn these into packed mud is really good, and we get the closest to dirt slabs that we've ever gotten, I think. Mud bricks are pretty cool. In addition to all that, we've got the alley, which can grab items for you and give them back to you. These guys will be pretty great for farms. Plus, they've got some really cute sound design. If you haven't heard the sound design for these guys, you should check it out. It's a little spooky, but I really like it. Oh yeah, and along the line of the mangrove trees, we've got all these new building blocks, which are actually really, really nice. I think the color and design of everything here is actually really, really great and will be great for building. And along that same train of thought, we've got these guys, boats with chests in them. This is such a nice addition, my word. And then one more small feature that isn't very well known about everything, but something that I actually really, really like as a designer, the /place command, where you can do so much. Like, look. I just spawned in a bastion in the overworld. This is the kind of stuff that I've always wanted to do with place. Like this is, look at this. This entire structure is here and ready to go. Like, dude, check it out. We're in the middle of a desert next to a bastion and here's a mansion. Like, who doesn't love that? Like, I can even do simple things like placing a mine shaft underground for me to find. For example, over here, we've got nothing that we've got, like, I could just place a mine shaft and yeah, there's a mine shaft there now. You can even place a mesa mine shaft here, which actually spawns like really close to the surface. Or how about this? Something simple, like if I want a pillager outpost up here on the top of this mountain. It's a super simple addition, but super effective for people that want to design things like me. So there is a lot of stuff in this update. There's a ton of things. But is it enough for a full update? Well, let's look back at some other updates and see what we think. Caves and Cliffs Part 1 had goats, axolotls, dripstone, it had deep slate, it had all sorts of things that were like really, really crucial to the game. This is all Caves and Cliffs generation from Part 2 even. So there's a ton of stuff that happened with Caves and Cliffs. That feels like something that was worth a big update. 1.16 overhauled the Nether with adding new biomes, new mobs, and quite a bit of new stuff to the Nether. This feels like enough for a big update as well. But then we come to the most interesting update to me, Minecraft 1.15. 1.15 was all about bees, and the literal only features that it added was the bee mob, the beehives, and honey stuff. And sure, maybe some of this had some functionality, but I don't know if this warranted a full update. Do you? It fixed a bunch of bugs, so sure, like it had a bunch of features that it did update, but I don't know if it added enough features for us to consider it a full update. That's what's so fascinating to me, is that 1.15, we all kind of allowed to be a full update, but now even with the Deep Dark, the mangrove forests, the new mobs, like all this stuff, somehow we don't want it to be a full update? I think purely based on the fact that 1.15 only added bees and honey and then did bug fixes. I think the crazy thing to me is that this is so many few features than what we had for 1.19. Like, there's a lot going on in this update compared to 1.15. The only things we're really missing is the fireflies and the birch forests, but honestly, do we need them? I don't know, those are just my thoughts. I think 1.19 is a pretty full and filled out update. I think they did a good job with it, and I think there's a lot of potential for the future and with growth for this update. Like, we still don't know what the Deep Dark is there for. What are they protecting? Why is he called the Warden? Like, what is there that we don't know about yet? I'd say there's a lot of things to be excited about for Minecraft, and I think the future is very bright. So with all that being said, you should watch this video on the Iceologer.